What's up, guys? I'm at the nursery today, and I am going to put together a plant combination for y'all that have shade in your landscape. It's going to be a pretty cool combo, a lot of contrast, a lot of colors, and easy to grow. So let's check it out. All right, our first one here is called Azalea Little John. And that's this guy right here. Say hi. And this has some really cool coppery, purpley colors. It's gonna go great as a background element. And so I'm gonna snag one of these and then we're gonna grab some other stuff. All right, so here's our plant combos. Lots of cool contrast and lots of colorful foliage. So when I say color, I'm not so much interested in the actual blooms, but more so the foliage, because that's the thing that's gonna be there throughout the season. The blooms come and go and you cut them off and then you just, you're left with the foliage for the rest of the season. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about color contrast. So in our foreground here, we have Ajuga. That's just a low sprawling ground cover, and it has a really deep, rich burgundy leaf to it. And it does have that cool little purple flower. And then behind it, we have Helichrysum petiolare, and this is the Helichrysum petiolare Limelight. And you have the Limelight as a more chartreusey green, and just the straight petiolare as a more of a grayish silvery tone. So you can use them together and they work nicely together. If they just kind of blend in and the foliage grows together, it actually looks really spectacular. And that's gonna get to about 2.5, 3 feet, maybe even a little bit more, but you can keep it pruned down. And behind the licorice plant, you have Asparagus densiflorus Myers, or commonly known as Myers fern or Foxtail fern. It's such a wonderful bulletproof plant, sun or shade. It'll flower in the spring, and it's got a really cool red berry on it that just provides a little pop of color. It's awesome. Next to it, you have the Philodendron Xanadu. And this is just a dwarf variety of the larger philodendron that we have seen so many times that just like takes over a space and goes nuts. This is a much more compact variety, really, really neat. And I just like this plant in this combo for the dramatic foliage that it has. This is a much more broad and bolder leaf, and so that texture difference also helps to create contrast. Again, I can't say contrast enough because that's what we're going for. That's what makes the garden interesting. So next to the Myers fern, we have a cool little strap leaf plant, and that is Liriope Gigantea. And that is also very drought tolerant. It can take full shade, partial shade, and it does have a bloom. That's gonna pop up in the summer. It's gonna get to about 2 and 3 feet tall and wide, and it will actually multiply underground, so you'll see little guys popping up around it, and that's okay. You can let it spread a little bit, or you can keep it a single plant, but honestly, just go with it, let it spread and do its thing. It kind of just creates a really nice large tuft of kind of a grass-like look. Really, really pretty, and a great contrast again with this other foliage. And then on the far left here, we have our Azalea Little John. Very, very cool variety of azalea. It's got that rich coppery leaf, and it does flower. So you have just a wonderful plant there that's going to create sort of a background to your landscape. It's going to get about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, so give it some space. Now, in the back middle right here, we have Aspidistra elatior, or commonly known as cast iron plant, and this happens to be a variegated variety. You can see the variegation in the leaf right there. Really cool plant. It's so lush. It creates kind of a cool jungly zen vibe. Really, really neat. And again, I like this for the bold leaf and the texture that it creates in contrast to a lot of the other foliage. And last but definitely not least is Phormium Guardsman, or Guardsman Flax. really amazing variety. In my opinion, one of the best varieties of flax. You can see just the blood red, rich tones of this plant. It's upright and spiky. It's going to get to about 4.5 feet tall or so. You can do full sun with it actually, but it can also take pretty close to full shade. Ideally, it's kind of like a partial shade plant, but again, it can go really well with this combo, and it just creates that really rich tone, that pop of color that you can use as an accent plant, and put it in those areas that you want to draw the eye into, like next to a walkway, close to an entry, or something that is going to draw you into it. All right, guys, so that's just about it. This is my plant combination for shade, one of my go-tos that I've used on many different occasions. Of course, I've added and subtracted a little bit depending on the garden space, but you can use this in full shade, partial shade, and guys, it's just easy to maintain, and it stays healthy and vibrant throughout the year. So if you guys have any questions on it, please shoot us an email, shoot us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. If you are not on the website, go to budgetplants.com, where we have so many wonderful trees and plants and shrubs to choose from. If you're on YouTube, do the like and subscribe thing and comment and all that fun YouTube stuff. And in the meantime, happy planting.